In the realm of network security, it is crucial to understand and adhere to various compliance standards. These standards are sets of rules, policies, and procedures that organizations must follow to protect sensitive data, maintain security, and meet legal and regulatory requirements. Let's explore some key network compliance standards that help in securing networks through regulatory frameworks. We will be discussing Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and General Data Protection Regulation. Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, or PCI DSS, is a set of security requirements designed to ensure that all companies that process, store, or transmit credit card information maintain a secure environment. It applies to any organization that handles credit card data, regardless of size or location. Here are some key network security requirements under Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. First, you need to install and maintain a firewall configuration to protect cardholder data. Second, encrypt transmission of cardholder data across open public networks. Third, protect all systems against malware and regularly update antivirus software. Fourth, implement strong access control measures to restrict access to cardholder data on a need-to-know basis. Fifth, regularly test security systems and processes to identify and address vulnerabilities. Let's examine the detailed implementation guidelines for network security under the Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. On the left, we have a network diagram. It depicts a typical network architecture that complies with Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard requirements. It includes elements such as a firewall, the internet, a demilitarized zone, and a secure network. On the right, we will explore key network security controls. First, implement network segmentation with a demilitarized zone to isolate cardholder data. Second, restrict inbound and outbound traffic to only the necessary protocols and services. Third, deploy stateful inspection firewalls to monitor and control network traffic. Fourth, implement two-factor authentication for all remote access to the network. Fifth, maintain up-to-date network diagrams that document all network connections and data flows. Sixth, encrypt all wireless networks that transmit cardholder data. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, or HIPAA, establishes national standards to protect individuals' medical records and other personal health information. It applies to healthcare providers, health plans, and healthcare clearinghouses that transmit health information electronically. Here are some of the security rule components under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. First, administrative safeguards, which include policies and procedures to manage security. Second, physical safeguards, which include physical access controls and facility security. Third, technical safeguards, which involve technology and related policies and procedures that protect electronic protected health information and control access to it. Fourth, organizational requirements, which include agreements to ensure the business associates also comply. Fifth, policies and procedures, which include written documentation of security practices. Let's understand the technical safeguards for protecting electronic protected health information, also known as EPHI. On the left, we have technical safeguards that include access control, audit controls, integrity, authentication, and transmission security. First, implement access controls to limit EPHI access based on roles and responsibilities. Second, use audit controls to record and examine activity in information systems that contain or use EPHI. Third, ensure the integrity of electronic protected health information to prevent improper alteration or destruction. Fourth, authenticate entities seeking access to electronic protected health information. Fifth, implement transmission security measures to protect electronic protected health information during electronic transmission. Sixth, conduct regular risk assessments to identify potential vulnerabilities and risks to EPHI. On the right is an example of the network security configuration. It shows a sample firewall configuration and encryption for data in transit, which is critical for compliance with Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. These configurations are designed to ensure that only authorized traffic is allowed and that data is protected both at rest and in transit. The General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, is a regulation in European Union law on data protection and privacy for all individuals within the European Union and the European Economic Area. It addresses the export of personal data outside the European Union and European Economic Area areas. General Data Protection Regulation places strict requirements on organizations that process personal data, with significant penalties for non-compliance. Here are some core principles of General Data Protection Regulation. First, lawfulness, fairness, and transparency. Second, purpose limitation. Third, data minimization. Fourth, accuracy. Fifth, storage limitation. Sixth, integrity and confidentiality. Seventh, accountability. Let's discuss the technical measures for protecting personal data across networks under General Data Protection Regulation. On the left, we have the network security measures. First, implement data protection by design and by default. Second, ensure encryption for data in transit to protect personal data during transmission. Third, maintain detailed access logs and audit trails to monitor data access and detect potential breaches. Fourth, implement data breach detection systems to identify and respond to security incidents promptly. Fifth, establish data transfer impact assessments to evaluate risks associated with data transfers. Sixth, deploy pseudonymization techniques to reduce the identifiability of data. Seventh, implement network segmentation to isolate systems and data to limit the scope of potential breaches. On the right, we have a diagram that shows how General Data Protection Regulation protects data flow. Here, data transfer safeguards between the European Union region and non-European Union region should be considered. Let's compare network security requirements across different regulatory frameworks. On the table, we will compare Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard, Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act, and General Data Protection Regulation across primary focus, network requirements, and penalties for non-compliance. Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard focuses on payment card data protection and requires firewalls, encryption, network segmentation, and regular testing. Penalties for non-compliance includes fines, increased transaction fees, and loss of ability to process cards. Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act focuses on protected health information and requires access controls, audit controls, integrity controls, and transmission security. Penalties for non-compliance includes fines up to $1.5 million per violation category per year. General Data Protection Regulation focuses on personal data of European Union residents and requires encryption, pseudonymization, breach detection, and data transfer controls. Penalties for non-compliance includes fines up to €20 million or 4% of global annual revenue. Here are some strategies for effective compliance across multiple standards. On the left, we have a unified compliance approach that includes implementing the most stringent requirements first, creating a unified security policy framework, establishing continuous monitoring systems, developing comprehensive documentation, conducting regular risk assessments, implementing defense in-depth strategies, and training staff on all applicable standards. On the right, we will discuss an implementation roadmap that includes conducting gap analysis across all standards, developing unified network security architecture, implementing encryption for all sensitive data, deploying comprehensive access controls, establishing monitoring and logging systems, conducting penetration testing and vulnerability scanning, and developing incident response procedures. If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.